Hey guys, welcome to lesson 5, all about the change. And so far we've understood that the experiences that we've had, we've put meaning to. And that meaning has ultimately changed our thoughts. And knowing that those meanings are not true is one of the key concepts that led to us understanding that we have these powerful brains inside of us, that we have this goal-achieving machine that's this massive search engine that has this thing inside called the reticular activating system that empowers us to really see what we want to and create change within us. And we know that we have 2 states of being that we can operate from, either primitive or performance, that once we know that this 5 states of action, of beliefs to thoughts to emotions to action that are directly correlated to our results, we now can take control by being conscious and create what we call the change. And the change looks like this, is we know we can act from a primitive state or a performance state. Those are 2 spaces that we can be in. And everything starts with a decision and a belief. So we know the bottom and the top are directly correlated. Our results, what we get, are directly correlated to that decision or belief. Now typically what happens when we're in a primitive state of being is that all we start to see is problems. And when we start to see problems, what do you think we get more of? Problems. And so they start to build up and they build up and we just get more of them and we start asking and they create this emotion. And that emotion is usually that of a primitive state: anger, pain, shame, guilt, and fear. And those 5 negative emotions are so powerful because they keep us in that primitive state of being. And they don't allow us to lock into this high level of clarity, and be able to take advantage of that our brain doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. And so without this level of clarity, without this level of understanding of what we want, we can't pull upon the law of attraction, upon the power of coincidence, upon the utilizing our reticular activating system to help garner what it is that we truly deserve and desire. And so the questions we ask ourselves are negative. Why can't I accomplish this? What am I doing wrong? Why can't I lose the weight? Why can't my business function? Why are my kids running around crazy? Why doesn't my wife like me? All of these questions we find answers to. And when we're in this state answering these questions, we feel stuck. And so think about how you would act if you're angry, mad, fearful, shameful, guilty. We don't act according to what we are. We don't act according to our true being. We don't act according to ourself. And so what happens is we feel stuck, and it's a reaction. And we start to get more problems. We start to get more issues that start to just perpetuate this cycle. And quite often what happens is this cycle is not only cyclical, but it's like a tornado and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And sooner or later, we run into depression, we have an anxiety attack, we make decisions that are very costly to us from a business standpoint or a relationship standpoint or a family standpoint or a health standpoint. And we then believe that it's too late and something catastrophic happens. Where in actuality, we have the power to simply come over here to the performance state. We have the power to make a new decision. We now have the gift of self-awareness to understand that that belief and that decision that drives us here is not true. And so we have the power to make a new decision. We have the power to make a new belief, form a new meaning for that experience, and we can act in whatever situation it is with gratitude. And that gratitude leads to a different emotion. That gratitude leads to that emotion of love, passion, kindness, joy, that leads to this massive level of clarity, vitality, energy. And in that clarity, we start to see that exactly what we want. And we tap into that reticular activating system. And we tap into that level of vibrance. And we tap into that mind that just allows this to flow from the law of attraction and everything that we were not getting in that primitive state. And we're able to go forward with confidence. We're able to go forward and create this proactive action that gets us more of the results that we want. And this isn't a bunch of just woo-woo stuff that, oh yeah, do this, and it's like, woo-woo, like everything's good, just walk through a garden full of weeds and just forget they're there and everything's going to be okay. It's actually the complete opposite. I'm saying, walk through your garden of weeds, acknowledge that they're there, but be grateful that you have a hoe. Be grateful that you have hands that you can rip them out with. Be grateful that you've now been gifted the knowledge that you can just change this decision and know that the experiences that you're having right now are simply experiences, and they don't determine who you are. They don't determine the quality of your being. They don't determine whether you're a good person or a bad person. They don't determine whether you're worth it or not. And so by having that level of understanding, by having that level of self-awareness, by having that newfound power, you are able to create the life that you want. You are able to make a new decision, act from gratitude, act from that state of powerful and performance being, so that you can have matriculated the actions that you need to take at a massive level to create the results that you want. All it comes down to is making a choice. All it comes down to is being conscious enough to change what you believe, change that decision, and ultimately live in that powerful state of performance.